It's a message to all the people out there that whatever their dream is, that they should never give up and just...
At just 7 years old, Angelina Jordan stunned the world on Norway's Got Talent with a voice no one expected from a child. Years later, when she stepped onto the stage of America's Got Talent, that same voice carried a depth and emotion far beyond her age. But behind those soulful performances is a story most people never hear. A story shaped by a moment that broke her heart and changed the course of her life forever. This is the truth behind Angelina's journey, a path filled with pain, resilience, and extraordinary strength. Stay with us as we uncover the experiences that shape the artist the world admires today. Born to echo the stars. Some people enter the world quietly, blending into the background until fate decides otherwise. Angelina Jordan was never one of them. Born on January 10, 2006, in the calm winter light of Oslo, Norway, her story stretched far beyond the borders of her birthplace. She grew up moving between Oslo and Los Angeles and even spent time living in the Middle East. Her younger sister, Juliet, followed her everywhere like a tiny shadow. Creativity ran thick in the family. Her father, Jerry Christian Sletman, carried Swedish roots, while her mother, Sarah Astar, held Iranian and Japanese heritage. And hovering over it all was her grandmother, Mary Zamani, the celebrated Iranian artist and poet who painted the atmosphere of Angelina's childhood long before she could hold a brush or a microphone. Her destiny didn't wait politely for her to grow up. It came for her when she was 16 months old. A toddler barely steady on her feet, she heard Whitney Houston's "I Will Always Love You" on YouTube. It wasn't supposed to be a life-altering moment, just a tiny girl, an ordinary day, a song floating through the room. But something in that soaring voice struck her like lightning. She didn't understand the words, but she understood the emotion. A door opened inside her. A spark caught fire. And from that moment on, music wasn't background noise. It was oxygen. While other kids bounced around to radio jingles, Angelina's ears wandered elsewhere. Billie Holiday, Ella Fitzgerald, Frank Sinatra, voices older than her great-grandparents. She didn't just like the songs, she felt them. And by the time she was 3, she wasn't humming nursery rhymes. She was singing with a tone so warm and haunting that adults would stop mid-conversation to stare. Her family knew this wasn't ordinary talent. They didn't shove her forward. They guided her, encouraged her, protected that fragile spark so it could grow stronger. And at only 5 years old, she stepped onto a local festival stage, a tiny figure in front of a crowd expecting something cute or clumsy. Instead, they heard a voice that didn't match her size or age, a voice soaked in soul, as if she had lived a lifetime before she ever learned to spell. This was just the beginning. Her education shaped her just as much as her talent. At the Oslo Waldorf School, creativity wasn't an afterthought, it was a foundation. And at the Oslo School of Music and Performing Arts, she didn't limit herself to singing. She learned guitar, piano, flute, and violin. Every instrument became another language she could speak. She wrote, she drew, she absorbed the world and turned it into art. Then came 2014, the year everything shifted. Angelina, only 7 years old, walked into the audition room for Norway's Got Talent. She didn't choose a safe song. She chose Billie Holiday's Gloomy Sunday, a haunting, emotionally heavy classic that even many adults wouldn't dare attempt. But when she opened her mouth, the room changed. Judges froze. The audience went silent. Her voice didn't sound borrowed or imitated. It sounded lived in, honest, ancient, and new all at once. The video went viral. Millions of people across the world found themselves watching a little girl deliver a performance that felt like a message from another era. She continued with songs like Summertime and Bang Bang, My Baby Shot Me Down, each performance hitting deeper than the last. Her semi-final rendition of Bang Bang left the room breathless. But it was the final performance, George Gershwin's Summertime, echoing the timeless 1958 version by Ella Fitzgerald and Louis Armstrong that truly sealed her name into history. She won the show at 8 years old, the youngest winner ever. But fame is a double-edged sword, especially for a child. Applause, criticism, expectations, they swarm. Yet Angelina didn't lose herself in the noise. She focused on music, on learning, on staying grounded. She performed on respected stages, balanced school and a growing career, and continued to pour emotion into every note she sang. Her journey stretched beyond the title she earned on television. Her voice, her presence, her sincerity, they opened doors most children never even imagine. And through it all, her love for music anchored her. Each performance became proof of her passion, her discipline, her talent. Angelina Jordan's story isn't a fairy tale. It's a testament to what passion can grow into when it's nurtured with patience and purpose. From a toddler entranced by Whitney Houston to an international sensation, touching hearts around the world, she showed that dreams don't have to wait for adulthood. The moment the world turned toward her.
Hun gjorde en stor inntrykk på meg.
Ja. Og så gjorde du noe
Ja,
plutselig. Hva gjorde du for noe?
Jeg gass.
Angelina Jordan's rise after Norway's Got Talent wasn't just impressive. It was the kind of ascent that usually takes years. Yet she moved through it with a calmness most adults struggle to maintain. While fame can twist people into unrecognizable shapes, Angelina held on to the values that shaped her childhood. Gratitude never left her side. Humility followed her into every room. Even as applause poured in, she remained grounded, choosing kindness and sincerity over ego. Her fame grew, but her heart stayed steady. Her momentum truly exploded when Norway's Got Talent became her gateway to the world. Those unforgettable performances of Billie Holiday's Gloomy Sunday and I'm a Fool to Want You didn't just impress judges. They rippled across borders. The raw emotion in her voice made strangers feel like they knew her. And when her performances went viral in March 2014, Angelina didn't just gain recognition. She became a global conversation. International media quickly stepped in. Time, Daily Mirror, People, each outlet highlighted the young prodigy whose voice carried more soul than many seasoned performers. But Angelina wasn't overwhelmed by the attention. She embraced the challenge instead. Every stage she stepped on, every song she chose, every note she shaped, she pushed herself further. Her performances honored the legends she admired, yet each one carried her own unmistakable signature. Her world kept expanding. In September 2014, she made her American television debut on The View, performing Fly Me to the Moon. It was a moment that introduced her charm and talent to a brand new audience. And while the United States welcomed her warmly, she continued to shine back home. Norwegian viewers saw her appear on multiple TV2 programs, each performance strengthening her bond with the audience that first believed in her. She didn't stop there. Swedish viewers also watched her take the stage on TV4, delivering performances that only deepened her growing reputation. No matter the country, no matter the crowd, Angelina's voice had a way of reaching people. Softly, honestly, deeply. Her artistic curiosity didn't limit itself to music. She stepped briefly into acting with a cameo in the final episode of Netflix's Lilyhammer, playing a young girl performing in a bar. Short, simple, yet unforgettable. Another glimpse into her expanding artistic world. Then came a moment even more meaningful. In December 2014, Angelina performed for Nobel Peace Prize recipients Malala Yousafzai and Kailash Satyarthi at the Save the Children's Peace Prize celebration. It wasn't just another event, it was an honor, a moment where her voice stood in tribute to two people who changed the world with courage and compassion. Singing for them was a reflection of her belief that music can uplift, comfort, and inspire. That same month, she released her debut recording, a 3-song maxi single titled My Christmas. The songs were filled with her signature blend of warmth and emotion, fitting perfectly with the spirit of the season. She marked the release with several television appearances, including a special Christmas Day performance that captured the hearts of everyone watching. With every appearance, Angelina Jordan proved she was far more than a child star with a rare voice. She was an artist with intention. She brought joy where it was missing, comfort where it was needed, and inspiration to people who didn't even know her personally. And through all the stages, all the praise, all the lights, she held tightly to the very values that shaped her from the beginning. Her journey showed that true greatness isn't only about talent, it's about patience, humility, and the courage to remain true to yourself when the world is watching. And Angelina did exactly that. Building the voice the world would soon follow.
Det är så många människor som ger så.
By the time many kids her age were still learning multiplication tables, Angelina Jordan was quietly laying the foundation for a career most artists spend decades chasing. In 2015, she stepped into a new phase of her musical journey. She began recording the songs that would eventually become her first extended play, Angelina Jordan, the EP. It wasn't an overnight project. It took 2 full years of patience, creativity, and stubborn dedication. Finally, in November 2017, the 6-song EP was released, marking a defining moment in her early career. But Angelina never waited for official release dates to share her gift. Long before the EP reached the world, she had already opened the doors of her artistry through her official YouTube channel. Video after video, she gave her audience more than performances. She offered an experience. Music videos, lyric videos, stripped-down moments. Each clip carried her unmistakable emotional depth. 2 covers, in particular, carved their place in her early legacy. Screamin' Jay Hawkins' I Put a Spell on You and Amy Winehouse's Back to Black. Both videos captured millions of viewers, but each did so for a different reason. For I Put a Spell on You, the atmosphere was haunting, bold, and unforgettable, brought to life under the direction of Per Heimly, whose visual style gave the performance an eerie magic. With Back to Black, Angelina chose a more personal path. She crafted original lyrics, adding her own emotional spin to a song already beloved around the world. It wasn't imitation. It was interpretation born from instinct. By 2020, both videos had crossed over 5 million views, quietly confirming what the world was starting to understand. Angelina Jordan wasn't just talented. She was a once-in-a-generation voice. Her desire to reach even more listeners led her to create a second YouTube channel in 2017, entirely dedicated to cover songs. It became another doorway for fans to experience her evolving sound. And then there were the live performances. In April 2016, she appeared on the very first season of Little Big Shots, the children's talent show that spotlighted young performers from around the globe. Her rendition of Fly Me to the Moon wasn't just charming, it was commanding. She delivered the classic jazz standard with control, maturity, and soul that caught viewers off guard. The next year, she traveled to the United Kingdom version of the show, once again stunning audiences with What a Difference a Day Makes. And in 2017, Germany embraced her too when she performed I Put a Spell on You on Little Big Stars. Each country she visited, each stage she stepped on, left a new group of people astonished that such a sound could emerge from someone so young. December 2016 brought another milestone. Angelina joined the major live concert event Alan Walker is Heading Home, broadcast from Bergen, Norway. Sharing the stage with Alan Walker himself, she performed his hits Sing Me to Sleep and Faded. Her interpretations carried a different kind of weight, gentle but powerful, emotional but controlled. The audience responded instantly. Whether performing jazz classics or electronic hits, she made each song unmistakably hers. Then came a collaboration firmly rooted in tradition and national pride. On June 15, 2018, Angelina teamed up with the staff band of the Norwegian Armed Forces for a full-length album titled It's Magic. The very next day, they brought the album to life in a special concert. Sitting in the audience was none other than Norway's Prime Minister, witnessing the celebration of talent, discipline, and music woven together on stage. Just days later, on June 27, Angelina stepped into one of the most iconic arenas on the planet, the O2 Arena in London. There, she performed Fly Me to the Moon for Quincy Jones during his 85th birthday celebration. Legends filled the room, and still, she belonged there. At the end of the night, she joined other singers for a powerful rendition of Man in the Mirror, closing the event with unity, light, and emotion. From YouTube uploads to global stages, Angelina's journey kept unfolding with purpose. Every recording showed her mastery. Every performance revealed her heart. She breathed new life into classics while weaving her own spirit into every song she touched. Her story in music wasn't just about talent, it was about intention, about discipline, about choosing to honor the songs of the past while fearlessly shaping her own future. And with every step she took, her voice kept carrying farther. Rising from stages to the world.
It's a message to all the people out there that whatever their dream is, that they should never give up and just, live on.
In 2019, Angelina Jordan stood in a room that most artists only dream of entering. The Brilliant Minds Conference in Stockholm wasn't a regular event. It was a gathering of innovators, world leaders, and cultural giants. And sitting among them was former President Barack Obama. Yet when Angelina stepped forward to sing, the noise, the status, the titles, all of it melted away. Her voice filled the room with a soulful calm that caught everyone off guard. In a space where ideas shape the future, her music carved its own space, powerful and unforgettable. That same year, she made a bold decision. She would take her talent to one of the largest global stages. She joined the second season of America's Got Talent, The Champions, a show known for bringing together the best performers from across the world. When the competition aired in early 2020, Angelina's first performance became an immediate sensation. She chose Bohemian Rhapsody, a song rarely touched, let alone transformed. But she didn't imitate Queen. She reimagined the classic with a stripped emotional arrangement that made the room fall silent. The moment Heidi Klum hit the golden buzzer, the crowd erupted, gold confetti rained down, and Angelina's name soared across every corner of YouTube. Her performance spread like wildfire. Even Queen's official Twitter account acknowledged her, praising the depth of her interpretation. Encouraged by the overwhelming reaction, she later released her own studio version of the song under her own copyright, adding a personal, haunting touch. In the finals, she chose Elton John's Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, inspired heavily by Sarah Bareilles' soulful rendition. Once again, she delivered a performance carved from emotion, soft, steady, vulnerable. Even though she didn't place in the top 5, the world had already claimed her as a favorite. Losing the title didn't matter. She had already won something far more valuable, the global audience's trust. Then, in August 2020, everything shifted again. Her uncle, who also managed her career, announced she had officially signed with Republic Records. It was a major milestone, marking her entry into mainstream international music. And she didn't keep fans waiting. On November 6, 2020, she released Million Miles, her debut single under the label. The emotional track reflected longing, loss, and memory, and she created it with the well-known Norwegian production duo Stargate. That same day, she posted the official lyric video on her YouTube channel. Fans drank it in immediately. Later, she offered 2 more videos, one a raw, intimate live studio performance, and the other a beautifully crafted official music video featuring her younger sister. But like many artists, her world paused during the COVID-19 pandemic. For nearly 2 years, she didn't perform live. Then, in June 2022, she stepped back onto the stage at Allsang på Gränsen. The return wasn't dramatic, it was emotional. Her voice carried the same sincerity it always had, reminding her audience what they had missed. By early 2023, Angelina once again found herself at the center of a global event. She teamed up with Moroccan-Swedish producer Red One to perform the official anthem of the 2022 FIFA World Cup, titled "We Are the Best." The performance took place at the Best FIFA Football Awards, reaching millions across continents. Her voice, now mature and familiar to fans worldwide, echoed through the ceremony with pride. From singing in front of world leaders to performing for international audiences, her journey had unfolded like a series of milestones wrapped in music. And through it all, she continued to rise with grace. But perhaps the most defining part of Angelina's identity isn't her fame. It's a story from her childhood. Angelina Jordan is known for performing barefoot, but it's not an artistic choice, not an aesthetic trick, and definitely not a branding tactic. It began when she was just 6 years old during a trip to Iran. She met a young girl whose reality was shaped by hardship. The girl had no shoes. Her feet were dusty, worn, and marked by a life far harsher than any child should endure. Angelina felt the weight of that moment. Without hesitation, she gave the girl her own shoes. A small act to some, but to that little girl, it was everything. More importantly, it planted a promise deep inside Angelina, a promise she never forgot. From that day on, she chose to perform barefoot, not for attention, but for awareness. Every stage she steps on, every spotlight she stands under, carries that message. Her bare feet honor the children who live without shoes. It is her quiet, persistent tribute to those who grow up in struggle. Over the years, people have questioned the choice. Stages are polished, performances are curated, cameras expect glamour. Walking barefoot in front of thousands can invite criticism or confusion. But Angelina stands firm. Her reason matters more than trends. And each performance becomes a reminder that compassion can be bigger than spectacle. Her fans admire her not only for her voice, but for her heart. In a world where many forget to look beyond themselves, Angelina keeps her promise alive. She proves that even the smallest act of kindness can echo for years. In 2015, she shared this story with the world through her first book, Melom to Hirter, Between Two Hearts. Her grandmother, Mary Zamani, illustrated the book with the same artistic soul that shaped Angelina's childhood. Zamani didn't stop there. She also directed videos for Angelina's YouTube channel, helped with her creative content, and collaborated with her on merchandise. Their series, Angelina x Mary Zamani, Episode 1 to 6, showcased colorful, heartfelt designs tied together by their shared creativity. Angelina's journey is more than a career. It's a story of empathy, discipline, and a promise carried quietly across years. With every song she releases and every performance she delivers, she keeps illuminating the world, not just with her voice, but with her humanity. Angelina Jordan's journey has been nothing short of remarkable, shaped by talent, courage, and a heart that refuses to forget where she came from. Her rise, her struggles, and her victories all blend into a story that continues to inspire millions. Now it's your turn to share your voice. Tell us what you think about her journey so far in the comments below. If this story moved you, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more. And before you head out, don't miss the other videos already waiting for you on the screen.